Welcome back to World Drum Club. I'm Kalani Das, your host and teacher, and this is part 3 of my 3-part interview with Taylor. We talked about djembe, we're talking about music, we're talking about how to learn the instrument, how to play the instrument, how to relate to the instrument, and really how to create a relationship with this wonderful instrument and the music that that's played on it. So I'm not going to do a long introduction. I just want to thank you for being part of the conversation. Thanks for watching. And as always, I'll leave the links below so you can contact Taylor directly, get plugged into what he's doing, and also other things that we're doing here on the World Drum Club YouTube channel. Again, thanks to Taylor for being so generous with his time. Enjoy part 3. So, anything else we want to add? I think we covered a lot of stuff, and I'm really grateful for your time and your wisdom and your knowledge. It's amazing.
Think about what you want to do with djembe, but then go to those people who have a little bit more experience so you can see things that you might not have considered possible. And then you might change your mind about where you want to be with djembe. And I've got so many hobbyists that study traditional djembe intently, and it improves their lives.
Oh yeah.
It's like, is it a meditation? Is it a practice not unlike yoga or qigong or anything like that? I think it's totally in the category of that.
Yeah.
You talk about a musical moving meditation, and then there's the whole trance aspect to it, the repetition of rhythm and frequencies happening. It's not a coincidence that trance induction is often done with rhythmic instruments.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
Well, you have got the physical.
Yeah.
It's very physical. You've got the intellectual. It's very intellectually stimulating. You've got the historical, cultural. That's super interesting. You've got what I think is one of the most important parts of it, which is the intercultural and interpersonal connections, right? You make friends.
Yeah, in a group. My gosh, you're doing something in a group.
You're not looking at a screen.
Humans are communal
animals. Well, you are right now. But
you are right. Get away from the screen and go to a group of... No,
but we need
communal animals.
We need to be in community.
Yes, and it's funny with social media these days and everything, where people think they're interacting,
right?
And then they get physiological evidence of isolation.
Right. Oh my God.
It's like, oops, that's like not really interacting.
It's not really interacting.
It's like certain types of food that purport to be food, let's say fast food, is not really food. It's something that's different. If you continue to consume that, you will get the ill effects.
Right.
Just like this isolation thing,
I was just thinking as you said that, you said it's not really interacting, and it's true. It's just a sped up letter. Like text message or an email. It is.
Right.
It's not really interacting. It's like people used to write letters, right? And you pretty much agree that it's not interacting. Well, you know what? Just because it takes 5 milliseconds, you still just sent a letter, and they sent a little letter back. It's not interacting.
It's not interacting. There's more to it. And the whole, djembe experience of being in a class, playing together with people, it's so beautiful. And then interact. And then, a thing that I've heard from my djembe students, one of the big revelations that I see happening on a regular basis is they feel, or they say to me that they hear things differently. They hear music that they've heard for their whole lives. They can hear 3 guitar parts now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They can hear little percussion parts that they never were aware of, and it's the same song they've been listening to forever. So it's almost like it opens your idea of perception. In a general sense, not in it's djembe is facilitating that, but it's not related so much to djembe. It's related to reality.
Exactly, and depth of experience.
Oof. Yes.
Right? Can you imagine doing something like learning music? I'm totally on board with that, because that's been my experience, and I even advocate for that. And I say, look, one of the things that musicians experience is an increased sensitivity and awareness of their world, of the world. I'm going to say the world, everything.
Yes.
We hear. We're sensitive. We're like, okay, I'm hearing this and this and this, and that is so awesome. Just imagine your world just got deeper and wider.
Yep. It's the same world you've been living in.
Exactly. You just had blinders. You had some blinders on, and they just went.
Right. Exactly.
Hello, you guys. That is
So much yes. You got no words for that, right? It's just so profoundly yes. I love it.
It is.
Yes.
It is, and that's true. It's absolutely true, and I get it. I completely agree. So many, many, many benefits, but what do you need to do? You got to show up.
Yeah, got to show up. Practice.
Be humble, but ask.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah, ask for guidance.
Yes.
Show up humble. Don't, we never show up in the attitude.
Yeah.
Where we can all learn something from anybody, actually. We learn from our students, we learn from our teachers,
yes.
We learn from everything and everyone.
Be open to hearing that what you believe that you're doing might be different than what you're doing.
Yes, of course.
And that's where the feedback thing happens. Again, that the snare will tell you, your guru will tell you.
And I want to say here that I think some people sometimes feel intimidated to go. Let's say Mamadi Keita or one of the other teachers comes to your area, and sometimes people might think, I don't know, I don't want to go because
I'm not advanced enough to sit in front of him.
I don't want to. Yeah, it's not advanced enough. And I will say this, and I think Mamadi's probably the exception to this because he's been working with Europeans a long time. Sometimes, I've had my kicked. Get ready to you can have your ego crushed if you have that ego. I would say don't have the ego. Don't worry if a teacher is what you would consider a little harsh, okay? Don't take it personally.
Don't take it personally.
Because it's somebody's style is not the most delicate delivery with that information. All I'm saying is,
right.
Some of the best musicians are not the most sensitive teachers in an interpersonal way. Okay, that's okay.
That's true.
It's not a personal thing.
Yeah.
They want you to get better. They want you to improve. They want you to learn. Yeah, maybe the way they express that is not with the most finesse.
And maybe some people expect to be taught in the way that they think they should be taught.
Yes, right. And a lot of the teachers teach in the way that they were taught, which was, it can be pretty militaristic.
Exactly.
It can be hardcore. I have a friend that's a great djembe player. And I'm not even kidding. He would get whipped with a cane. That's what they do in some of the ballet trainings.
Yeah, I know that my teacher.
That's not going to happen to you at a drum class.
You won't do that.
Nobody's going to do that. But I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So the methodology to get there is not. It doesn't always feel great for your ego, but you know what? It's okay. It's not about the ego. Everybody wants you to improve. Everybody wants to help each other and get better. That's all I'm saying. So don't be intimidated by that. It's okay. Right?
Yeah, leave the ego at the door, like you're saying, and it'll be fine. Don't take it personally, and it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Take what you can from it, and it's good.
Yeah, I would even say it's a bit like that part from the Lord's Prayer that says, forgive us our trespasses and forgive those who trespass against us. Mm-hmm. And you can kind of apply that as a trespass might, like somebody that says, oh man, that's totally wrong. And, and they're saying it in front of a whole class, like, you did this wrong, you did this. That might feel like somebody's like trespassing against you.
Yeah.
In a way.
And it's interesting you mentioned
that. It's not an intentional thing.
I've realized, I meant to mention this earlier, but I had some classes in Guinea, and the teacher only spoke Malinke.
Uh-huh.
And sometimes we didn't have anyone who spoke French or English to translate.
Yeah.
And so this apparatus of asking questions with the mouth, with language, was offline, not an option.
Yeah.
So now we would sit in class and we would learn from this person. There was one time we were playing something for like half an hour straight, and then a translator came by and we're like, oh, would you ask a question for us? Were we doing that right? And he's like, no. I'm talking half an hour we were doing the same thing. But man, we knew that thing. We knew what not to do really well.
You can check that one off.
Exactly. And that said to me, what happened then, I opened as a student and I was like, oh my gosh, okay. So maybe I should use an explanation with words when it's shown to be necessary.
Uh-huh.
Maybe I should rely on the genius that's within that individual sitting in front of me that they might not even know about. Mm-hmm. I don't know about, but I'm gonna do a thing here where I'm going to try and see what they are doing. And what I will do when I begin teaching, I just do the thing.
Right.
And see who does what. And sometimes I get lay people who have no experience with music. They nail stuff. They just do it.
Yeah.
And they don't even know how they're doing it. They don't know why they're doing it. They're just doing it. I'm like, good. I didn't think I needed to explain that. And I realized you don't need to explain everything.
You don't.
And maybe explanations are an assumption on the teacher's
Right.
part. You know, I realized that too.
Yeah.
I'm assuming what you need, and I don't think that's okay.
Well, and it's also, as soon as we start talking about music, we're now not in music anymore. We're out of, we're somewhere else, right? So, yeah, I agree with that 100%. And I've made videos actually on the channel where I talk. I'll maybe talk after the playing. But I agree I think that's the best way. Music speaks for itself. There's nothing hidden in music. You know what I mean? You play djembe, you can hear. He's not hiding anything.
Right.
You can hear it, you can see it. So it's just a matter of paying attention, listening.
Exactly. And then when you see people struggling, you look at them and you're not going to address a general thing with them. You're going to look at how they're struggling and you're going to address them specifically. Each different person is going to have a little bit of a different path to the realization of what's going on.
Yeah.
You know, and it's beautiful to watch that and give it a little time. You know, I sit in it for a while. I allow people to process and try to figure it out. I want people to figure it out for themselves. I want to work myself out of a job.
Right.
Okay, that's what my goal as a teacher and facilitator and professional has been for a long time, and I've realized that's a good thing. Right. You got to make sure you got enough jobs lined up. I mean, you got to pay the bills. But you know what I mean? For people to, I'm into facilitating people getting it. I'm not into showing them something they don't know. I'm into drawing out from them what probably they're able to do that they might not be aware of.
Right.
You know? I know drum circles are a lot about facilitating the potential of the group, you know, and it's that.
Well, it can be. I mean, it can be just a drum circle with no leader, or it can be,
it's right. A facilitated drum circle is
it can be. Yeah, and there's gradients to all that, but but we're talking about drum class right now. We're talking about traditional music and ensembles, which is different from your average.
I've seen people have abilities far beyond what they are aware of.
Yeah, absolutely. Even young children, older people. Yeah, some people seem to. Yeah. I think they're just out of their own way. Like they're not overthinking. It's the people that are over analytical and they're trying too hard. Like you were talking about earlier. Like just trying to. I've seen people try. It's like they're trying to smash the sound out of the drum or something. And it's like, no, it's not. It's not. You're not trying to crush the drum. Yeah. You're not squeezing the sound out of it.
And I want to play. You don't work the drum.
Right.
Play the drum.
You play the drum.
What kind of expression you have when you play? Yeah, one of these.
Yeah,
you're playing. Right. It's important to keep this because that will help those other things that might otherwise stand in your way. Help them go away.
Well, exactly. You want to be relaxed and comfortable and have a nice attitude.
And like Kalani was saying, not all teachers are sensitive to what I just said to kind of making sure that there's a positive environment in the room. Yeah. But I've seen, I know you've seen, that if you do facilitate a positive environment in the room, the learning is almost like lubricated. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like it really moves because, happiness is, I don't know the science of it, but I bet happiness and learning have some kind of connection where, stress and learning have another connection that's not okay, that's inhibitive, prohibitive. Yeah.
Well, I certainly would think that if you're stressed out because the teacher is not making it, welcoming experience, a welcoming environment, a friendly environment, that's another, a layer that you don't need. I mean, and people you're probably not gonna stick with something unless you're kind of enjoying it at some level. Most teachers are awesome, and of course the other people that show up at a group class are going to help you. There's people there that have been at every level of the people that are super close, that are helping that teacher, that have been that teacher's student for 15 or 20 years.
There's levels.
There's all these levels. Yeah, and it's a big family. Everybody wants to help each other.
I think there are two levels of djembe. I think there's getting to know what to do, and then there's doing that thing. Two levels. That's it. That's from what I've seen. That's it.
So once you get to that doing level, then you're cruising.
Just keep doing. Now. You're able to play bass, tone, and slap. You know how to move your hands. You know how to give signals within the music. You know where the pulse is within
Yeah.
the context of different music. You know something about the doo-noons and
Right.
and you can hear the melody and the harmony created by these bass drums that go under the djembe. Once you get those basics, it's all just that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it gets deep. It gets like turn your brain inside out deep.
Right.
But you know, once you get those basics, it's all just working those basics. Just work those basics.
I'll just make a quick analogy. I think it's like reading, learning how to read, right?
Reading to learn, or learning to read and reading to learn, that thing?
I guess. I'm just thinking about when you're like, at one point you don't know how to read, so you can't
Right.
do it.
You got to learn to read first.
And then you learn to read, and now you can read everything.
Read to learn.
Read to learn.
Right.
Exactly. Learn to read, then read to learn.
Exactly.
Exactly. So then you can go into all the novels and all the literature and all the things, because you know how to read.
It's exactly that.
Okay, that's what we're talking about.
Exactly that. Exactly.
And then you can go down any rabbit hole you want.
Yep.
You know, into any area of fantasy or science fiction or whatever.
The world is open to you.
It's open, yeah. So so this is great. So I hope this has been useful for you all. We've talked about a lot of things, covered a lot of things. If you guys have questions or you want to leave comments, you know, of course, I always encourage you to leave your kind and helpful comments below the video, and I'll do my best to respond. But if you want to contact Taylor, you're going to...
holygoat.com would be the best way. That'll give you everything you need. You can get to my YouTube, you can get to my email, all that kind of thing.
All right, man.
Yeah. Thank you, Kalani.
Thank you. I appreciate it a lot.
Hey, brother.
So that concludes part 3 of 3 of my interview with Taylor about the djembe. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, please show your support for both his work, his channel, his website. You can visit him live in the Chicago area or wherever he's going to be around the planet. And please show your support for this channel, because we put a lot of effort and energy into bringing you content that we hope is beneficial and we hope you appreciate. So if you'd like to show your appreciation, besides liking and subscribing and clicking the bell, please join us at patreon.com/Kalani, and you can support World Drum Club. Get our swag with some of the links below. If you want to get your Play Your Drum T-shirt or a drummer T-shirt, you can do that at Teespring. We appreciate you guys, all of you, wherever you are in this journey, wherever you are in the world, and whatever you're doing with music at any level. All right, I'm Kalani, your host and teacher here at World Drum Club. Thanks for watching.